My cabbages!
Low, low, man.
Ah, my cabbages!
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew Esquire's The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I am back, slightly sunburnt, and setting up my equipment again today as I'm starting the stream. And I'm like, why isn't my camera working? It took me 7 minutes to realize it wasn't plugged in. Professional streamer, everybody. Professional streamer. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you for coming. Happy Valentine's Day. Now, of course, it is the day after Valentine's here in Asia. So, you know, our boys are having a little cuddle buddy love hangover in their love shack in Korea. Of course, I'm talking about Johnny, Somali, and Hank, who are going to be the principal targets today for our video, although I will have a little bit of a follow-up on DBR 666. I think up and coming Johnny Somali. I've gotten a little bit more information on him and a little bit more of his background. So we'll share that at the end. But really, this is about the lovers today. This is Valentine's Day. It's a day of love. And it's about Johnny and Hank. We're going to show their new video together where they look oh so adorable. And we're also going to go through their Discord messages, which are extremely problematic and damning, and there's a lot of stuff they're talking about there, including what appears to be a trip that more streamers are making to Korea. So originally it looked like Slightly Homeless, who's one of the nuisance streamers over there in Japan, was the only one who was going to head over to Korea. But it appears that another streamer, at least one other, is confirmed to be coming to Korea, possibly more. It might even be the whole gang that's in Japan coming over. One thing I was very curious about with that gang in Japan, and they are trying to distance themselves from Somalia. We'll show the text records today. Was where are they going to go to extend their tourist waiver, their tourist exemption? Because most people in developed countries can only be in Japan for 90 days at a time on a tourist visa, or essentially a tourist exception, which is you can be in Japan without a visa for 90 days at a time. You then have to leave the country at least for a bit and come back. And now many people do go to Korea quickly, whether by boat or by however else, right? They go to Korea for a little bit, spend a day or two there and head on back, and you can get another 90 days, which would get them to 100 days in Japan. In the aggregate, you can't just stay in Japan directly for 100 days without a visa. You can't do that. You would overstay. And if you did that, you might get prohibited from entering the country again for a certain period of time. Overstaying your visa is very serious. Here in the Kingdom of Thailand, that can also get you blacklisted, meaning permanently banned from the country. If it's too long, it can also get you fined. So there's a lot of punishments for overstaying a visa. That's a good question. Someone in the chat asked, why are they going to Korea if they're trying to distance themselves from Ramsey? I think the same thing. I think going to Korea is a massive mistake. I think going to Korea while the trial of Johnny Somali is pending, while this is a hot topic. In fact, they're going to go there essentially right during Johnny's trial, which would seem to believe that they're going to bring more attention to Johnny. Nuisance streamers in Korea, coming to Korea from Japan, even if they don't commit any crimes, if they're just annoying, which they normally are, annoying, obnoxious, bothering people around them, causing scenes, causing fights, all sorts of drama, that's going to bring more attention on Johnny during his case, and the fact that these people as a class of people are a problem, which is what the broader sentiment is, which is why they're angry. They're angry because they think even when they're doing positive things are okay, but their definition of positive are things that are really annoying but not illegal. So they're okay with being really obnoxious, really annoying, but not illegal necessarily. Although you could argue that, and all of them are filming other people in public without their consent, which in Japan is technically against the law. It's very hard to stop foreigner streamers from doing it, but it is technically against the law. And that's why I say you could see changes to the law where something like streaming in public is just prohibited, period. Right? There's just a blanket ban on it. It becomes illegal. If people see you streaming in public, they just make you, the cops make you turn it off or confiscate your phone, right? Because you've got to have the consent of everybody who's in that picture. That said, we've got some love here to start with. So let me read out these. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Elpire Ava with 10 Legal Mindset memberships broken up into 5 and 5. Thank you for both of those 5 there. Appreciate that. Arigato gozaimasu to my elf girl in Cali. And I may need you, Ava. I may call you in. I'm going to later tonight, your morning, my night, I'm going to do a 1-year anniversary stream for my joining the VTuber world. And we're going to go over Niji and Vox. There's a new Vox document out. So we're going to go over that later. Elpire said, Andrew Kuhn, we were worried. You stood us up. You're Valentine's. Why would you make us worry like that? This is why I enjoy being single. The chat as a girlfriend is the worst girlfriend. You cannot. You've got to dump chat. You've got to ghost chat. I'm sorry, chat. This is an abusive, toxic relationship. I hope you know that. No, but much love to all you guys out there. You all are my Valentines. I love you all. I appreciate you. I only hurt you because I love you. I only abuse you because it's my own way of showing you that I really love you. Because if I didn't love you, I wouldn't scuff it this hard, right? If I didn't love you, I wouldn't be super late for starting streams, you know? Repton says, hey, I see Johnny is back with the crap. Oh yeah. We're gonna watch his first video. This is the first video he's put out there in a while with Hanky Poo on his TikTok. Repton Rigo, thank you for the 20 legal mindset membership. Yes. Very much love there. Thank you, Rigo. Appreciate that. Thanks for the big support on this stream and on all streams. It is much appreciated. If you received a membership from Rigo or anyone else, Ava, Doug Diaz, anyone that gifted memberships, please say thank you to them. And then Doug Diaz dropping another 5. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Raptus says boomer mindset. It's just another day. That's just my normal mindset. Red Star for 250 Philippine pesos. Thank you. Mabuhay. Hello from Manila. More spice to the scuff. Thank you. Yes, in the poll. How do you like your scuff? 40% say crispy, 19% say thick, and 42% say spicy. So we've got a lot of variety to the scuff. Pilot Girl says, please tell Bang TV and Dalgoon. Oh, don't worry. They're probably watching. Bang TV watches most of my streams, but Dalgoon he also watches a lot of my streams, but I'll tell him as well. Don't worry. Derp21 says, happy Singles Awareness Day. Yes, happy Singles Awareness Day to all those that lack a Valentine. Andres for 100 Argentina. Says, hello, gorgeous lawyer. Can you tell me why Yakuza is not taking care of Johnny's Somali nuisance? Love your content. Well, he's in Korea, so Yakuza are Japanese. So there are no Yakuza Japanese gangsters in Korea, right? Different country. However, there was allegedly at one point, like people were putting out a rumor that the Korean, gangsters had a bounty on him. Whether that's true or not, who knows? But beyond that, the organized crime is not as big of a thing in Korea because there was a point at which the gangsters were essentially rooted out in Korea and got rid of at a certain point. So organized crime isn't as big. In fact, most of the quote unquote criminal elements are kind of worked into the system, whether they're into industry itself, into business itself, or into the government, right? So either, most of the corrupt elements are either part of the government or part of business, right? So they're one or the other, right? Or a little bit of both, a little bit of column A, column B. Rigo for 10 said, before we get into the nitty gritty, any recommendations for where to go for a first time visit to Japan? I plan on coming this January. Obviously first time Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka. And now I hate to recommend Kyoto now because it's so packed and there's so many tourists there. I know you got to go. You just do it once, even with the tourists, just suck it up and get it done real quick. Then I would say maybe, Hiroshima, maybe Fukuoka if you want to go there, but definitely you gotta get knock out Tokyo and Osaka and Kyoto. Those are three you got to go to. Maybe Nara if you want to get out beyond that. Depends how much time you have. If you have 2 weeks, what you can do is go to my good friend Meme Copium. He has a very good video. It's one of his top videos. 2 weeks in Japan. You can just go find that right here by my friend Inaka Adventure. Here, let me show this screen. Here we go. Should pull up. Yeah. How to spend 2 weeks in Japan, a travel itinerary by Inaka Adventure. Watch this video. It's very good. 22 minutes. It's got everything you need in it. By my good friend Josh, who lives there. He's been in there for like almost a decade in Japan at this point. Maybe over actually. So he knows everything you need to know about Japan. Darker Binding gifted 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Yes. MD says, can you Iron Man the best defense for Somali? Then why it isn't going to work? You know what? I will do that on a future stream. But let me just give you a shorter version. We're going to have like a longer version when I get all the charges in, because I'll kind of give you the Steel Man for him. His best defense is, look, none of these are so serious. Like legally, they're normally not punished that harshly, so you can't punish me that harshly. Right? That's his best defense. Now, that's not going to work because it's part of a pattern of behavior, because there's aggravating elements, right? Because he's not really sorry. He has that official apology, and he continues to make videos even after his apology, kind of saying, fuck Korea, hail China, hail the CCP, which is what we're going to see today. He literally is praising the CCP. So you can't have videos like the video today and then say, hail CCP. Tinkrat says for 25 dinar, from UAE dinar, says Valentine's Day is over here and went by in my house unnoticed. So I'm just here for spicy cabbage content. Good. Yeah, it's over here too, but it's still going in the hearts and bodies of Hank and Johnny. Ryobi said, no scuff, you would still be legally minded. Yes, it's true. It's true. King Connor for 10 says, my trip to Japan starts on the 1st. Oh, congratulations. As a fellow Florida man, how heavy should the clothes should I pack? March can be a little chilly, so I would be prepared for it to be on the chillier side. It can warm up towards the end of the month, which could be, cherry blossom season towards the end. But I would be more prepared for cold than not. So yeah, there's snow in Japan right now. So one of my friends sent me pictures of the near Tokyo, which is like covered in snow. Not Tokyo, like outside, but the suburbs, but like a lot of snow. Kirdna for 5 says, couldn't we see Korean police interrupt the obstruction of business differently if nuisance streamers use their old habits on buses and stores? Yes, they could. They are going to look at it as a pattern if they see there's multiple crimes they're committing over a period of time, and they're doing it, they're making these disturbances as a pattern. I think what Johnny Somali could do is he could set a legal precedent on how to prosecute these people, which is to put all of the charges into one case and to make it look like, hey, look, they did all of these things, therefore put together, we need to punish them, right? Because this is part of essentially a criminal streak of disturbance, of obstruction, and therefore they seem to be taken very seriously. So yes, it could be a problem. Shala, kick 50, kimchi number 1. There you go. W, thank you. Playing off the Ramsey meme. All right, let me show you. So I said last time that new charge, because I talked about his new charge, that his new charge was probably based on disturbing the person with a disability. In case you haven't seen, here is the video.
I am Kickstreamer. You're Kickstreamer. One second.
He actually looks scared, bro. Not lying.
Okay,
This is an old video.
He said he's calling the police.
Call police, mommy. Call 112. Call police, mommy. Call now 112. Call the police.
Your phone about to die, bro.
It's okay. Boomy, call the police. You give me how I need to Boomy. Why? Why?
See?
Stay out of Seoul, nigga. This is my territory now, nigga. I run the city. Ain't no kick streamers on my fucking block, you bitch ass nigga. Run.
So that was harassing a disabled person because he has a condition. So Boomy could, and I think Boomy did actually contact the police and file a report. So I'm sure that that could be something, right? That could be one of the charges that was against him under the Minor Crimes Act. So that's very, very possible. All right. So now let's get to the new stuff. So this video is new. That was an old video. This is a new video. This just came out, was just put out by none other than the Star-Crossed Lovers right before Valentine's Day. Isn't this sweet? The guys that are confirmed, by the way, and we showed this last stream, they're confirmed to be living together. So Hank himself has said that he is sleeping together with Johnny Somali under the same roof, right? That's Hank's words, not mine. Hank said that, right? So let's play the roomies and their statements. Now, they do use some slurs in this. So warning, there are some racial slurs in this. We'll probably also get demonetized for it, but whatever. I mean, I want to show you the raw video. I don't want to edit it or bleep it or whatever. So if you're offended by any sort of content like a racial slur, if that bothers you, I would advise that you maybe tune out for the next 38 seconds. Other than that, I'm going to continue here.
Yo, what's up, motherfuckers? We're over here. We conquered the South Seoul Fortress, or the People's Republic of China.
Y'all niggas one time, and we're gonna do it again. Who the fuck you think sent Johnny Somali here? Shout out to the CCP. Shout out to Xi Jinping.
Hell yeah, Jungo Wansui. Jungo Wansui. Look at all this land. You know, America and China should split this land in half. Right?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Jungo Wansui. And I got a message for all these Korean fucking extras and these who want to like pull their fucking age on us. Tony Ma.
So yeah, he's officially praising the CCP, attacking South Korea, pretty much slandering South Korea, coming out and slandering South Korea. This is when his case is in 2 weeks, two and a half weeks, like 3 weeks, let's say. 3 weeks to his case. And he's out there slandering Korea, praising China, agreeing with speaking Chinese, while paradoxically wearing a flex with that. I mean, if anything, we clearly know, especially with tariffs placed on China, that there's not a lot of love lost between China and America right now. But he's out there praising China, speaking Chinese, slandering Korea, right? And yeah, not speaking really good Chinese. Neither one of them do. It's very, very, very ridiculous. But he's coming back, apparently, to streaming. We're going to go through the Discord messages now. Mike Turner gifted 5 Legal Minds memberships. Thank you so much for that, Mike. Thank you. Repton says his fakes look very kickable. Oh, indeed. It is very kickable. And punchable, too. You can ask Dalgoon. Mr. Melancholy says Johnny Somali should be ready to farm garbage. He needs to prepare himself and all of his extremities for prison. Yes. And Mr. Alex 78945 Aussie says, I want to say Johnny Somali is about to find out what FAFO fuck around and find out means. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. We're already demonetized. Also, if Johnny went to China, the people would sort him out. I think that both Hank and Johnny do not know what China is really like. And they're not going to be able to get away with those shenanigans. If they went to China, they would not be able to get away with those shenanigans, which maybe they're praising them for. I don't know. But I mean, when they talk about due process, and we're going to see how they complain about due process, you think China has due process? You're insane. You're absolutely insane, right? If you think China has due process. But let's go through some of these messages here, and I want to make sure I've got everything pulled up that I need to have pulled up. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I've got everything here. A lot of different photos here that I want to pull up, so I want to make sure I get them all in order. Let's start with, where should we start? I want to start with Johnny saying he's going to come back. Where's that one? Okay, where is that? Okay, here we go. So Johnny is going to come back, and he's announced that pretty much publicly in his little Discord over here. And here's the message, because he's talking about having not streaming before, and he comes in. This is at 8:15 a.m. Says, I low-key need that. It's going to be Korean War Part 2 when he goes live. So he is planning to at some point come back and go live, just not yet. And thank you, Baked Buddhist, for the 5 Legal Mindset membership. Yes. Appreciate that. And all the gifts today. Thank you guys so much for keeping the stream going, helping me out. We're at 45 new members today, which is awesome. Thank you so much, guys. So he's going to come back, and he's anticipating, he knows that when he comes back, it's going to be a problem, that there's going to be issues. He also knows that there's going to be beef with other streamers. And in fact, he's trying to start beef with other streamers. That's kind of part of his gig. So here's the one I told you about, where he kind of confirms that at least one other streamer, ABZ, is going to come to Korea. So right here, Johnny Somali says 7:35 a.m. I really can't wait to meet ABZ, who's another streamer. This is another nuisance streamer in Korea. So he's planning to confront this guy and to stream it in Korea. So he's already planning to, apparently he knows that this guy is going to come to Korea, or he's heard this guy is going to come to Korea. And he's planning to confront him for quote unquote the content, which is kind of verified by these text messages he has with ABZ. Let me show these right here. Okay. So here's some messages. I don't know. I think this is a Twitter message, but this is ABZ up here, and this is Johnny. This is Johnny here. Wallahi, you need to stop threatening me and putting my name in your mouth. I don't even understand why the fuck you keep constantly mentioning me. My only problem with you is being two-faced and helping me in the beginning when I was on Kick and switching up once I got banned. Stop trying to continue this weird-ass beef. When do I ever speak about you? It's so cringe. It's cringe, right? ABZ says, shut the fuck up, and calls Johnny Somali a rat and says, I told you what not to do, and that's the shit you were doing was going to lead to a ban. You agreed and apologized and said you'd clean up. The very next day, you did it, got banned, and expected me to feel bad for you or to help you. Then you proceed to talk shit and make videos about me for months. You're a dickhead, and what you did in Japan is scum as fuck. So he's trying to put some distance and distance himself from Johnny, because a lot of people helped Johnny out in the beginning, but now they've said, hey, look, listen, we're putting some distance on it, and now they're calling him a rat, right? And then he goes over here. Johnny responds and says, I get that you warned me about my actions, and I appreciate what you did for me back then. But when people on the platform are still doing the same or worse, no, they're not. No, they're not. The people that do that stuff get banned. And we're actually going to show DBR. DBR got banned again. His channel got taken down again. And they usually get hit now because Kick knows, and they don't want to lose advertisers. The very little they have, they don't want to lose them. It's felt unfair. It's been almost a year since all that, and I just want to move on. A lot of the people you're around in Japan have done worse than me, yet you're the only one, yet you're only calling me out. That's hypocritical. I'm not here for any more back and forth about the past. Well, he doesn't want to argue the past because Johnny's fucked up more than most people, and he's done more illegal crimes than most people, although the others have done things that are illegal, and in fact, there's some of them that have done things that are potentially very illegal, even if they haven't been punished for them. It still doesn't make what he did better. And I hate that excuse that Johnny's trying to give. It's a very kind of baby excuse of, well, they did it too. That doesn't make it better, right? That doesn't make it better. Just because somebody else does it does not mean that you can do it. Like, it's like speeding. I talked about this last time. If you're speeding and the police catch you, but somebody else is speeding more than you. Let's say you were doing 90 miles an hour and they were doing 100 miles an hour. It doesn't make it better or okay for you to speed. You're still guilty of speeding, even if someone else was doing it and doesn't get caught. It sucks for you maybe that it's you and not them, but it is what it is, right? You're still guilty. Ryobi says, I bet Hanky Poo and Ramsey's favorite expression, never bite the hand that fingers you, or something like that. Too bad they keep fumbling up on that too. Yeah, they're definitely, Hanky Poo and Ramsey Khalid Ismail are definitely doing a lot of biting and fingering in that cold shack in Seoul. Openly. They're pretty open about it. I mean, they're open that they're under the same roof, probably in the same bed. It is what it is. I mean, there's small apartments there in Seoul, real small. Tatsumi for 6 months says the rat having Trump as his PFP, as if Trump will be bailing him out. Trump is not bailing him out. Trump is not saving him. He thought that Trump was going to save him. If Trump was going to save him, he would have already been brought back. He would have already been, there already been some deal cut for Johnny Somali. Nobody is cutting a deal for Johnny Somali. First of all, the embassies don't get involved like that. He's not that important. And second, and beyond that, he's not a real conservative. He doesn't believe in conservative values. He doesn't represent America. He's a disgrace to America. He doesn't make America great. He makes America ashamed that we ever had to house this wild animal. I mean, essentially, he acts like a feral animal. And the only thing you really do with a feral animal is you put it down. I mean, if you can't train it, you put it down. And the equivalent of that, sticking him in jail. I mean, that's really the only thing you can do. For 500 yen says, whataboutism is strong in the Golden Cabbage Goblin? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you did this too. When I listen to these nuisance streamers, and not just Johnny, but the ones in Japan too, all they do is whine and complain and yell nasty, vile, defamatory, disgusting things at each other. It's really the lowest IQ viewership that I think exists out there, period. I don't think there's a lower IQ than the community, the general nuisance streamer community. There are good streamers that are IRL streamers. There are IRL streamers that are fine, that do wholesome content, that are fine, that are okay. But generally, especially the nuisance streamers, the Somali-like streamers, they're so low IQ. They are not better, not any better, not even close to better than
monkey.
I mean, even monkeys can be more well-behaved than them, right? Yanera, yeah, 39 IQ in the chat. Man, Johnny looks stoned. Yeah, he looks weird, and they're using a filter too. He probably looks worse than that. I think the filter is Femboy tint. I think that's the name of the filter that he's using. Maniac Mark for €2 says, in the future, Ramsey will one day regret it all. He's going to regret it when he realizes he chose to fuck his life up. And he went down this route to negative clout, thinking this was his key to fame and stardom. And he has his fame. People know him now. He got what he wanted, but it's not the type of fame he wanted. And it's not the monetization he wanted. He wanted him to be making a bunch of money on this. Instead, he's seeing everybody who's covering him in a negative way. Atozi, Yellow Flash is out there. There's an infographic show, which I'll review on a future stream. I want to do that, a content review. An infographic show did one on me, and I actually have a cameo. We're not going to do it today because I want to keep this update brief because I have 2 streams to do today. I'm going to do one later on today in my PM, your AM, if you're in US, on 1 year in VTubing. And I've got some stuff to handle today, so we're going to keep this one relatively short, but we're going to go over some other channels covering Johnny Somali on a future stream. It'll be a fun one. Gator Time. So happy VTuber rabbit hole anniversary for Doki Bird. Yes, we're going to do that later. That is later. Gator, in fact, I'm going to invite you on. I'll invite you on because it's an anniversary. Okay, let's show this one here. And happy anniversary to everybody out there. All my Valentines out there. All right. Johnny says, people are waking up, at least. Sam was actually speaking the truth. So he's trying to say Sam Pepper. And ICE can see how retarded Japanese Twitter and police are. You would think, logically, he would say, wow, this country is retarded. And now I see what Johnny went through for a little ass shit. But instead, he wants to blame me. You literally don't have to do anything. Who the fuck did I start with fights with or harass in Japan? Literally, Johnny committed several crimes in Japan. So Johnny is now full of shit. He trespassed. He harassed people. He stalked people. He was yelling and screaming on trains, bothering people, getting in their face. Those all were disturbances. All were illegal. He was punished very lightly in Japan. for what he did there. And it was entirely because of him. This is what I have called the Somali effect. And I said it is absolutely affecting Ice Poseidon. It's affecting Sam Pepper. It's affecting all those guys, Slightly Homeless, ABZ. Everybody in Japan right now is affected by Johnny because they all know Johnny. Johnny is famous internationally, and it's affecting him. In fact, there's politicians and news outlets that are covering it. I'll show that on a future stream. We'll go over other stuff, but just wanted to get that out there that it's absolutely about Johnny, and him trying to say, wah, it's not me, is just ridiculous. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, let's see here. All right. So yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's get rid of this fake Hank in the chat. All right. Yeah. Somebody was trying to fake Hank in the chat. That's not actually Hank. Species 316 gifted 10 legal mindset memberships. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's get the right one here. Let's get the right one. Yes. Shannon the Red says, any updates on the Mojang lawsuit? Have a good day. Not yet. That'll be a future stream, but I'm going to look into that a little bit more. But thank you. All right. Let's talk about a Hanky Poo. Johnny's lover, his roommate. Here we go. So Hanky Poo's been saying some crazy shit. Here's Hanky Poo, who at this time was he changes his name a lot. He was under Diddy's dildo, Hank U. I'll just leave that to your imagination. So Hank U here admits to engaging in prostitution in Korea, which is illegal. It is illegal. Yes, of course it exists. Prostitution exists in every single country, whether it's legal or not, right? Every single country in the world has prostitution, whether it's legal or not. However, talking about it publicly in a public Discord is pretty fucking bold. So he goes right here and says, I've heard whorehouses denying foreigners, even if they're Americans, and I've seen it myself. A whore denied me because I had a foreign accent while speaking Korean. I am not joking. And of course, Johnny's very wholesome people in his chat ask, how much was she charging though? So the question they wanted out of this was, how much is the whore? Right? To which he says $100. He does say, I've never heard of Americans getting denied at clubs, even for clubs with no foreign signs. If you show them American passport, let you in. This is absolutely not true. Hank is completely wrong about that. I've seen it myself. I myself has been denied out of clubs for this. Other people have been denied with American passports. This is absolutely not true. Hank has this fantasy. So Hank has a fantasy about these large countries, China and US, that they're like all powerful and can do whatever they want, which kind of plays into Johnny's fantasy of like Johnny's American, so he can do whatever he wants and say whatever he wants. No, he can't. And let me tell you right now, if you think you're American or Chinese and can get away with everything, you're crazy. You're crazy. Right? That's insane. Maybe he's talking about Korean Americans, but even then, not really. So Hank, the dildo, Hank, says, never leave your house without your American passport. King Terry says, are you even Korean, bro? The Koreans claim you're Chinese. What an honor. I wish I was. LMAO, racial slur. I'm not going to read this or say this, but you guys can read this yourselves. Racial slur thinks being Chinese is an insult. Imagine that. Once again, this is Hank, who's praising the CCP, praising China. He still lives in Korea, and he's racial slurring his own people, right? He says, I wish I was Chinese. I wish I was Chinese. So he's simping for China big because America rejected him, right? And now he really goes in on Korea. He really goes in on Korea. Let me show you guys this one. Okay. This is Hank once again. Pretty much, why can't Korea, join the US as a state? Korea doesn't deserve to be independent. Korea needs to be humbled by both China and America. Korea is basically like Eurotrash countries. I think he's trying to say countries. but just put cuck in there for no reason. And Japan is like Britain, writhing with inferiority complex against America and China. Koreans would shit talk China on the internet that wouldn't say shit in front of an actual Chinese person. That's totally not true. I've seen it myself in person. When a Korean fighter beats a Chinese fighter, they put it on sports page 1. There are 3x more Chinese fighters beating Korean fighters. Koreans are better than Japs, Brits, and Europeans, but that's not saying much because Britain and Europe sucks at MMA and Japan fell so far behind. Koreans on average act like Euro trash, all about that image and face and faking themselves. So this is a Korean person who calls himself Korean, shit talking his own country. Obviously, there's a certain psychosis to this and a racial psychosis to this, because he's not making a differentiation between Koreans, whether they're Kyopo, Koreans who live abroad, Koreans in Korea, Koreans like anywhere else, or whatever. He's just making racial slurs, like going all in on Korea. Here we go here. He also makes death threats against the Korean streamers. Let me show you guys this. So here's Hank making death threats against the Korean streamers. This is when he had his name is Patronus N4828. He says, if I was in China or America, those motherfuckers would be dead by now. I would have killed them. So he's talking about Bang TV, Dalgun, Jungman, and J Company. So he's saying he would have killed all the Korean streamers if they weren't in Korea, if they were in China or America. I wouldn't even have gotten aggravated battery by those 3 motherfuckers. 4, actually. I would have spilled their brains out and claimed self-defense. Scram simp, you helping me? Okay, real quick. So first of all, China doesn't have self-defense. So clearly he doesn't know Chinese law. I have a good friend who is a Chinese lawyer. Anybody who knows China at all knows that, even it's funny. This guy is literally sucking the CCP's dick and he doesn't even know Chinese law. Like how much, like if you're going to suck the CCP's dick, at least know Chinese law. Then you would know that if you even studied China a little bit, there's no self-defense in China at all. You can't possess a gun in China at all. You'll go to prison for a long time. You can even get the death penalty for possession of a weapon. It's possible. So, obviously he doesn't know Chinese law. And in America, not really. You can't just when we analyze self-defense cases, shout out to my boy Andrew Branca, Law of Self-Defense. If you break down these self-defense cases, a lot of them don't qualify for self-defense. If you look at these videos and the way he's talking about it, he's talking about premeditated murder. He's talking about just going and like intentionally killing them and just calling it self-defense. That doesn't work. That's a myth. And many of those cases are convicted of actual murder. So just let's be very clear. He then says he needs help with legal shit. So clearly that was a little bit ago. So maybe that was with his American legal appeals. So there we go. Also, one last thing here. Him slandering Korea once again, where he says right here, stupid Koreans think they're higher than Chinese. So once again, this is Hank and Johnny shitting on Korea, praising China. This is what their new grift is. This is what their new thing is. So there you have it. That's some good stuff right there. And that's the stuff on Hank and Johnny. So let me show you this video. This is the urination video. I owed you this video, guys. So I want to show it to you from last time. This is DBR666. So I'm going to get to that after I get these super chats. Shala said, I've been told Jap is a slur for the Japanese. Yeah, but my Japanese BFF, Max, we talk all the time. He uses that term fairly often, and other Japanese people that are in the English world will use it in a non-intentional way. My understanding is that it depends on the context and how you're using that. Like if you're using it in a clear way that's a slur, then it's a slur. If you're using it in a way that's not necessarily a slur, then it might not be as offensive, right? So to me, I having known people in Japan and having talked to a lot of people there, especially people that are Japanese American or both, I think it depends on how you say it. And once again, this isn't like, my stream is more free speech, on the side of free speech versus censorship and being, too hardened. And first of all, I'm just reading what he said, right? So that's his word. I think he may have meant it in a slur way. I, of course, am just reading it. I do not intend it that way. Well, I love the Japanese people. I love them, right? They're great. So when I say it, I do not intend it as a slur, and I absolutely love Japan. I'll be there next weekend, right? I'll be in Japan next weekend. Love it. It's a great place, great country. Quite enjoy it. Invader Talks is a whole year. Holy crap. Anyways, it's always nice to see Ramsey Khalid Ismail still coping and seething along with his femboy butt buddy Hank. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? NZ says there should be a law that just takes any and all profits from streamers earned. By the way, how long for the other stream? That one will be on tonight. I'm thinking like 8 or 9 p.m. my time, so like 8 or 9 a.m. I'll probably be on the 9 a.m. side, so that more of you can wake up. And also I'll check with Ava, see when she's free in the morning. Maybe it'll even be 10 a.m. because she's on the West Coast, so that's really early for her. I'll talk with her about it, but we're going to do it later today. It'll be a real good celebration of my year in VTubing. Shoiro says, I see Ramsey ramification or Ramsey Ram instead of this Johnny Somali effect. Yeah, that's true. Just to respect Somali people and country, also mess with Rams. That's true. The Ramsey ramifications. I like that. I'm going to use that for another stream title. Ramsey's ramifications. I like it. That's a good one. Ramsey gets rammed. Ooh, I like it. King Lugia says, hot Korean hunks are to be gooned for. You do you. No judgment. You can do whatever you want to do. Raby said, holy jumping. I wonder who is more delusional, Hanky Poo or a lefty? It's close, but I think Hank, he's this weird mix of like he wants to be a nationalist, but he also wants to be a SJW, essentially. He cries the police, he cries the authorities, he cries about being picked on, he cries about being discriminated against, but he also wants to be this like ultra nationalist. He can't pick a lane. He has mental deficiencies. Clearly he's a mentally deficient person, and that's just how he is. Elpire Ava says, for 5 says, random. I know my father just threatened our cat running with the deer in this area, like some dances with wolves type shit. I don't know anymore. Yeah, that's very funny. that's pretty hilarious. Tell me about it later when you come on. Hannah Hue for 5 says, I would like to pay to see Hank go up against Dalgoon. He get the same treatment as Johnny got. They're gonna meet probably at the court case. They should be there. Hank should be there. Dalgoon should be there. Atozi. I talked to Atozi. He's gonna come. He's coming. So we're gonna meet. We're gonna probably have dinner, have some drinks, which would be cool. So I'm looking forward to that. And meeting him. And I told him to hold off till 2 weeks or 1 week before. I'm going to talk to him at 2 weeks out and get him to book it 2 weeks out. I think that'll be safe enough. And I don't want him to have to pay a last minute price for a plane ticket, but I want to make sure the time isn't moved. If that time is moved again, I will feel horrible. He could also book a refundable ticket or a changeable ticket or one with a cheap change price. That might help, but I just want to make sure he's not screwed by them flipping the date. But yeah, that'll be really fun. Artemis says being called legally minded is a slur. Hold on. I'm going to play the clip.
Excuse me, sir. What is your ethnicity? I am interested in calling you a slur.
Tatsubi says, Hank, the type of person to actually believe the CCP propaganda we're showing the Chinese passport to foreigners actually solves things. That does not work, guys. Let me tell you, as an American and as somebody who travels a lot, this is bullshit. You are not special because you're an American. You do not get extra immunities because you're an American. Being American does not have you powers and you get praised, right? You get treated with respect and decency and a normal level of you're not actively discriminated against except for certain countries, right? Where you are, but you're not given these uber benefit. You don't have some pass to do whatever you want in the country. That is absolutely not true. Not at all. Anybody who thinks that is insane. And the only reason why that these two countries, both Korea and Japan, are a little bit more permissive is just a general culture of hospitality, especially they want people to know their culture, right? But it's not a way where you get away with everything because you flash the blue passport or the red passport. Also, shout out to everybody on Locals, Links, JP Ravenfire, Joe Schmo, Veggie Han, appreciate you. And also appreciate the cabbage memes. Always good over here with the cabbage memes on Locals. Appreciate you sharing that. Let me share that with you guys real quick. Appreciate my Locals people just sharing with me some beautiful cabbages. There you go. Beautiful cabbages. Future farming. All right. So let's get to the DBZ. Let's get to the DBZ footage. So I promised you this footage, so we're going to get back to it now. Oh, let's see here. Let me read this one. For 500 yen, Hank tried to sound all gangster, but shrimps for the CCP. Yeah, he's not. Hank is not a gangster. Hank is not tough. Hank is not a tough boy. He's run away from every single fight. He won't even fight Jungman, who's shorter, fatter, and older than him. He won't fight Bang TV, who's shorter, underweight, and older than him. It's just, he's a pansy. Amanda Main for 5 says both are only keyboard warriors who start stuff with mostly female keyboard warriors, and little man syndrome doesn't help. Yep. It'll be really fun with Ramsey. You know, he's always shrimps up when people are there. Ryobi says, don't tell the Niji sisters. Oh, we'll tell them, because we're going to be talking about the Niji sisters tonight when we talk about Vox. That's going to really trigger them. Oh, man, 1 year and we're dunking on Vox. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an extra fun episode. All right. So I think I got through that. All right, let's go to the DBZs. So here is the future Johnny Somali, right? This is DBR6. Here is his stream where he goes and he urinates in a building. I think this kid is a future Johnny Somali. By the way, I asked about him to a couple others. Apparently he's an alcoholic. This is not my words. This is somebody telling me this, right? Another anonymous source, I'm going to keep anonymous, told me this kid's an alcoholic. He's Dutch background, but he's got, UK residency. So he's living in the UK, but he's Dutch. He's missing his front teeth, right? So I think he's like missing teeth, or he's got a gap in his teeth. He looks real fucked up. And he's got money problems, drinking problems. So this is why I think he could be the next Johnny. He's got potential. Yeah, that was not the bathroom. So where does he go? This is not a toilet. Spoiler, this is not a toilet. He just flipped his phone around and headed back into the same door. That was you can see, because he blanked it for a second. He flipped his phone around and he went into the stairwell. And look at this motherfucker. Peeing on the floor. Peeing on the floor. It's muted? It's muted? Really? It's muted? Hold on. Okay. I think you need to hear at least a little bit of this. So I'll do it one more time. Sorry, guys. Me scoozy. When I do entire screen, sometimes it doesn't play the audio. Here, I'll play this for you. Yeah. Sorry, I was narrating it, but I'll rewind it a little bit. Right. So here's him.
Fuck, I'm gonna pee myself.
So hold on.
Holy shit, I'm actually gonna pee myself.
See, he goes down this one. He goes into this in this stairwell, and look at the color of the wall. It's blue, right? So you see it's blue here. And watch what he does. I'm going to show you what he does. So he goes in. This is the only unlocked door. The other door is locked. Watch what he does here. He turns around. There you go. He blanks out the screen. So he's flipping the camera around because now he knows he can't find a bathroom. So he flips the screen around so you don't know. So you see his face.
Oh my God, there's a toilet here.
He walks down the exact same hallway. You can tell by the side. He's by this door that was locked. And look at the color of the wall. It's blue. It's the stairwell. He goes in the stairwell that we just saw on the video. It's like 100% clear, right? Mind you, I believe this got his stream banned. This is one of the things that may have gotten a stream banned, amongst other things. But yeah. And what I'm trying to say is, it's not impossible to find a bathroom in Japan. It's pretty easy. You literally just ask somebody, and they'll tell you. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, guys. You could punt a fucking football through there. This is fucking nasty. This is a disgusting human. That's why I say he's the Somali part 2.
Pissing on the wall again? No, bro. I found the toilet. Don't be weird. That was the toilet, bro. You guys are.
Where's the flush? If that was the toilet, where's the flush? Right? Why you just walk out? You didn't wash his hands and do anything. You can see in the background it's a hallway. Right? So fucking disgusting, absolutely nasty, absolutely degenerate. You know, really nasty stuff. Really nasty stuff. So that is DBR 666. Now, there's some other video of him fighting with the streamers in Japan because he's trying to get in with them and they're pushing him away. So apparently the streamers in Japan do not like him. Right. And I don't want to give them too much airtime or anything else, but the whole crew of Ice Poseidon, Slightly Homeless, Suspendus, all those guys that are traveling together in a big, totally not gay, group. Those guys made some distance from DBR after he got banned off of Kick. And they're also distancing themselves from Somali. So they're trying to put distance between themselves and everybody else. And they're allegedly, their intention is to be positive in Japan. Now, once again, they've some of them have done some things that are questionable, but most of them have been okay. Most of them have not committed any crimes. But it's still a tough time in the wake of Johnny Somali, in the wake of everything that's going on, to go and stream and do these things in Japan. Maybe you need to cool it on Japan content for a while. Maybe go to South America. Maybe go to Uruguay. Maybe go to fucking Brazil. Go to Mexico. Go do this shit somewhere else. And there's a reason why they don't do it there, because they know they won't get away with the same shit they get away with in other countries, right? If they go to some places in Mexico, the cartels might disappear them. So that's what's going on with those guys. I think, to be honest, my prediction is that not all of them will make it the 100 days. They may cut it short or have some issues before then. Obviously, they're being hounded by police. So I do imagine that they may not make it even to 100 days. I think they could, before the 100 days is up, have some problems. There's one more good clip from Hanky Poo. Let me get this one here. Just got it in. This is actually a really good one. Let me share with you one more good Hanky Poo clip here that we've got from his Discord. This is a real good one. Okay, here we go. This is Hank talking about Dalgun, right? So he says, this is Hank saying, "Lol, you Dalgun is absolutely retarded. Can anyone find out whether that bitch actually served his term in the UDT or got kicked out for not showing up for training? I want to verify before I say something, get sued for defamation." So even he realizes trying to say this is defamation. And it is defamation because it was in the UDT. He served out his full term and he did not get kicked out at all whatsoever. He finished his term and he's on reserve. He acts like a motherfucker that is badass always. A motherfucker comes up with at least 3 people. When that motherfucker came against me, never alone. Are you kidding me? He went alone against Johnny Somali, and this guy has no problem going alone against Hank. Hank would be killed by this dude. I met Dalgun. He's intimidating, right? And I would not want to fuck with him. And that's me. I'm bigger than him, but he's more built than me. I haven't been working out that much. I need to hit the gym, right? Way more than I do now. But Dalgun is definitely active, definitely lifts, definitely works out, definitely boxes, like does, martial arts. He would destroy Hank. Hank is like a little piece of jello. Hank says, "I've seen that motherfucker's fighting videos and it's pretty undisciplined and uncoordinated." Okay, so Hank is now a professional fighter. He says, in one-on-one, I'd pretty much beat that punk ass. The reason why I'm not fighting that motherfucker is I'm not going to bring that motherfucker to my gym since that would cause drama. Why? Because you get your ass beat? Okay. I'm not going to that motherfucker's gym because I'd have a biased ref and shit. So he's scared of a biased ref. Oh. I'm not reviving his dead ass channel. That motherfucker, I want that motherfucker to get depressed as fucking kill himself. That's not going to happen. That's ridiculous. Bang TV has been blowing up my inbox wanting me to fight that motherfucker on camera, admitting that I'd crush his ass. Why? That motherfucker gets views and money. Well, you get no views, bro. So you don't even have a channel. You have a TikTok. That's about it. And no one cares about your dumbass TikTok. Goon also doesn't know shit about politics and wants to do political podcasting. Well, that's up to him. That's his channel. Also, that fat ass Youngman is in jail. That's true. Youngman did some crazy shit and now he's in jail. Oh, by the way, among 4 that jumped me that night, the tattooed motherfucker and his bitch N-word girlfriend are on the run from police. That's interesting. So the most key part here is that he's trying to talk tough, but he won't actually show up. This is a typical keyboard warrior where he wants to talk tough. He wants to say, I can fight, and he never actually will show up and do it. If you're so tough, Hank, show up and do it. Until then, you're just a femboy-loving weirdo. You're just a femboy-loving weirdo. So, yeah. It's real weird on the streets. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So that's what I think I have for today for this one. I am keeping this one a little bit shorter. We're at like an hour, so we're pretty good. Let me get these super chats. RJX Dare says, I'm in Hokkaido for the snow festival and skiing, but can't the authorities use the videos as evidence? Joe, yes, they could. The Japanese authorities could look at the video, particularly the snowball video of DBR, and they could do that. There is a Japanese prosecutor who is very interested in these cases. I'm going to try to message her and DM her. And if she's comfortable, I want to make sure she's comfortable. I may even try to interview her, or may try to give her information or whatever else, because she's interested in going after that. There's also a politician who has been following Johnny Somali, covering and confronting him and his homeboys in Japan, and specifically ABZ was confronted by this guy, and others have been confronted by him. A politician now has gotten the attention of these streamers. He is trying to talk to them and say, what the hell are you doing? You're throwing snowballs at people. You're pissing on the ground. You're doing all these things. Why are you doing this in Japan? Why are you coming here? We don't want you here. Go home. And they need to hear that. They need to hear that. Or can they use to ban him from Japan? What needs to happen to get these degenerates booted? They need to be prosecuted. They need to each get crimes put against them. That will get them booted, and that will get them blacklisted from Japan. All of these people need to be blacklisted from Japan, except for the one, the couple that aren't committing crimes, right? So like the girl hasn't done any crimes yet. What's her name? Nana or whatever her name is. There's a girl with them that hasn't done anything. She doesn't need anything against her. There's 1 or 2 others that haven't done anything. They've been idiots, but they haven't done anything. That's fine. But stick the main ones with a charge or 2. And get them blacklisted from Japan for 5 years. It'll kill their content, and it'll kill nuisance streaming pretty much. So all you got to do is tag them with one crime, even a minor crime, and get them banned like Johnny for 5 years. It'll kill their careers because they can't go back to these countries. So as they go down, they're going to have to go to other countries. And as they go to other countries, they're going to go to countries that are really going to jail them. They're going to go to a country and they're going to fuck around and find out. They're going to go to like a Mexico. They're going to go to like a Guatemala or like an El Salvador. And Bukele is just going to throw them in jail. Right. So there's going to be places they're not going to fuck around. They also won't go to America. Yeah. Norbert says, any thoughts on Ice Poseidon being annoyed? You allegedly reported him to Japanese authorities. I did not do such a thing. Now, what is happening with Ice Poseidon is because people are covering it and bringing attention to it, and because Ice Poseidon has had stalkers and people doxing him and following him for years, years before my coverage, that he's tried to threaten me. But once again, there's nothing they can threaten me about. I'm not afraid of these fuckers. So they can do whatever they want to do. They can say whatever they want to say. I ignore them. I don't respond to them. My general policy, and this has always been my policy, is I don't respond to people saying defamation against me or saying crazy shit. It's always crazy shit. Once again, just ignore them. Really, nobody's got anything of relevance or that I care about. I don't really care about them. I'm going to continue to cover all these people as they commit crimes. Now, if they don't commit crimes, if they're, doing good behavior and they're just streaming, I'm not going to cover them. I'll leave them alone. And by and large, a lot of them right now are not doing anything. So I'm not covering them. I'm just covering ABZ right now, this stream, ABZ and Johnny Somali, right? But if those guys, slightly homeless, ABZ, ICE, anybody else, suspend us, if they commit crimes, I'm going to cover it. I'm a legal channel. I cover legal issues. I don't cover drama. I don't cover bullshit. But when somebody involves himself in the legal process, all chips are on the table. When somebody, for example, like Hank, decides to file a lawsuit, a literal lawsuit against me, which you can support by going to Ko-Fi/Andrew Esquire and dropping some money in the Hank Defense Fund, right? If someone decides to attack me or sue me, or if someone decides to sue somebody else, everything's on the table. I'm going to cover everything about them. That's how legal reporting goes, because once the law is involved, everything becomes relevant, because it all can be a relevant fact to the crime, to the legal process. Their behavior, all of Hank's behavior, can be shown to the judge. So when Hank is doing all these things, we can just show the judge, hey, look, he's the one defaming us. He's the one saying these things. He's the one making death threats, literal death threats in a public group. This isn't a private group with just one or two people. This is a public group with hundreds of people, and he's making death threats. I think that's relevant. I think a judge should know that. Let's see. Rayobi says, I'm surprised Icy went to Japan at all, especially considering what happened in Thailand not too long ago. Yeah, I'm surprised too, especially choosing Asia right now. It's a bold move, Cotton. And if you wanted to be positive, I think you just leave them alone for a bit, give it a year, and then come back to Japan. I think that now is not the time for Asia. I think you should stay out of Asia or go to another Asian country that hasn't been as oversaturated, and go there and be nice and don't break the law, right? If you go to a country, maybe you go like the Philippines or you go to Indonesia or Malaysia or something, and you behave yourself, it'll be fine. The problem is a lot of these guys can't control themselves, and they have no impulse control. So they end up doing crazy stuff, and you end up with situations. And the problem is, as you go to these other countries, they're not going to play around. The wrong part of the Philippines, you could end up dead, right? Wrong part of the Philippines, you can end up dead. Wrong part of Indonesia, you can end up dead. Right? Wrong part of certain parts of Malaysia, even. You know, there's things you don't mess around with. So yeah, they're going to the very safe country of Japan because they feel safe there, and because they're not actually that brave to go to the countries that are more dangerous. Unbelievable for 199 says Ram Ramsey Ranch. That's great. That's great. F around and find out in the chat. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let's see here. Hank is in love with enormous forehead boy. I think Hank wants the social media clout most of all. I mean, he also likes the femboy part of Johnny, but more than the femboy part and the fact that Johnny is essentially the quintessential femboy. He's smaller than a woman, and he's just the way that he likes him. But that said, I think he wants the media clout, but I think Hank is too stupid to not know that this type of clout is not going to be good for him. You need to have some good side to that attention you're drawing, some fan base that's into that. A bunch of stupid teenagers are not going to be some permanent fan base. And they don't really have the money or the support to really get you where you want to go. Sorry, it's not going to carry you there. And he's not monetized on any platform. David Miller for 99. I'm not monetized on any platform. I'm talking about Hank. By the way, Johnny said he's going to go to Party as a platform. He wants to go to Party. As for Rumble, that's his backup. But from what I've heard, I'm not going to show you any files, but I have got some information, let's say, that he is not making any money on Rumble. That Rumble is not profitable for him. So he's bankrupt, essentially. He's not making any money. And he's having to go to these weird other platforms. David Miller says, do you think Johnny likes the sauce when he gets a mouthful of Hank's tteokbokki? I think that Johnny is clearly the bottom because Hank has, like power issues. So he's gotta, make up for that, and the small tteokbokki energy, STE, if we'll call it. Yeah, he's definitely the bottom. Johnny's definitely the bottom. That's true. RJX Dare says they should try stuff in the Philippines. That I would love that. I don't think they're brave enough to go to the wild parts of the Philippines. I think they might go to like Manila or Cebu, but they're not going to go out in the wild of the Philippines. They're not going to go down to like Mindanao, like southern Mindanao, and fuck around. Please try that. Do you think Rumble was profitable for Rekieta? It was profitable for Rekieta for one reason, because he had a contract where they had a guaranteed payout. Rumble is only profitable when you have a contract with a guaranteed payout. I had an advertising contract for 3 months with Rumble that they had a guaranteed payout. I think it was like $3,000 a month. And that's the for a very short time. And I did that. But I stopped because I wasn't getting the returns on it, and the product wasn't selling as well as I wanted it to. So yeah, it wasn't great. But although I liked the product, I think it was my Field of Greens arc. But it was a good payout. I mean, $3,000 a month is nice. So they did pay out. But unless you have those advertising contracts or a contract with them, it's not worth it, because the amount of support you get there, the viewership is way lower. It's not even close. So you have to have a contract for a lot of money to go into Rumble. That's the only way to go to Rumble. And Johnny definitely does not have a contract with Rumble. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see here. Smug Alana did a reaction to a parrot video of any color. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, we're gonna have that. We're gonna have a lot of reactions for that later. Don't you worry about the VTuber stuff. But anyways, I know Johnny will watch this, and I know he's gonna be coping and seething. So I'm gonna leave you guys. We're at an hour and six mark. Thank you for coming for this little short but enjoyable podcast today. Enjoyable stream. I'll be back in about 12 hours, maybe 11, 12 hours from now, with my next stream. So guys, get some sleep if you're in Asia. Or just enjoy your day, enjoy your Valentine's Day evening. If you're in America, get some sleep, and then we'll see you in the morning if you're in America, and I'll see you later tonight if you're over here in Asia or Australia or anywhere over here. That said, guys, stay based. I'll catch you later. And Johnny and Hank are surely.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing.